Nnamdi Kanu and his followers should be worried if Nigerian government ever stands up and says, take him away. I think he should be worried if they don't try doing something foul.
Is it just Nigerian government or the President Muhammadu Buhari government? Welcome to episode 20 of Reactions. My name is Mr. Sal. Joining me today, as always, Mr. Nwachukwu and Mr. Henry Oqua.
Nice to be here.
How you doing? How you guys doing?
Very fine, thank you.
Very well.
Is that how we're moving?
Deal. No pass like this now. Cannot they pass like this.
All right. Anyway, before we get to the topics we're going to be reacting to today. Yeah.
Now you get caught in the that, don't be me.
Yeah. So please subscribe to Page 36 TV on YouTube. Like this video, share, I already said subscribe, comment, let us know what you think.
Yes.
So anyway, let's get straight to the topic we have 1 hour to go today. So President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday in his home, Daura, Katsina State, during the Salah celebrations, donated 1 million naira cash, 2 cows, and 20 bags of rice to the NYSC members serving in Daura local government area of the state. Reacting, Alex Obemiata, the NYSC spokesperson in Katsina State, said, and I quote, "It was a celebration of the century." He said a lot, but I didn't care about the rest. I don't know why he said it was a celebration of the century. So on the same day, there was a video circulating online of some Ghanaians returning gifts given to them by the government, allegedly, because I don't know. They were instead demanding for jobs and for better governance. Yeah, so we're going to play the video for you guys to see.
Oh!
Yeah, so Mr. Henry Oqua, what did you think about this gesture by the president? Were you excited for the coppers? Did you think the president had done something really marvelous, like the NYC spokesperson in Katsina State said? Was it really a celebration of the century, or do you think our people, the core members, have once again disappointed us by receiving gifts from politicians, because I think we're in a space where we're trying to do away with some cultures that we have had for a long time that's really not worked for us. What's your perception of what happened? Do you think the coppers could have just received the gifts and still, have whatever perception they have of the government, or did you think they could have used this opportunity to pass a very important statement to the government in power? Yeah.
First off, I don't think that these core members have disappointed anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, they understand what the job is, basically. With respect to their going to visit the president, it was more or less renting a crowd and using the crowd and blah, blah, blah. That's how these things work, you understand? Core members will normally be at home for that holiday. They will try and celebrate the holidays with their families, you understand? Oh. The reason why they've been left, they stayed back is because for months, when they got wind that the president is going to celebrate Salah in Daura for the first time after a while, they decided, no, we must have core members. They do this every time he goes to distance. So I don't even understand what this Alex Obemiata guy.
Forced the core members to stay back, or they stayed back for long?
No, they were well compensated for their staying back.
Oh, okay.
They were well compensated.
Allegedly.
They have no. It's not allegedly. It's not allegedly. Even the donations are part of the compensation.
Oh.
Exactly. So there's no two ways about it. I think with respect to our culture and juxtaposing this with the Ghanaian situation, I think if these core members, I think it happened about the same day. If these core members saw what happened in Ghana before that one happened, I think they will still do the same thing. They'll still collect it. We are not ready yet.
But the way you're saying it right now, so it's two different scenarios if I'll paint it right now. You know, so if you're saying this was arranged, that's a different scenario from where, okay, there was no arrangement at all, you know, but these were like normal core members that were there was nothing planned. Do you think in that situation they could have still collected the money and the gifts?
If it was not planned?
Yes.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Do you know in Nigeria there's not hungry? Well, apart from us.
Yeah?
Apart from us, we are not hungry. You understand?
Very hungry. Exactly.
Don't say that on camera. But basically what I'm saying is it wasn't the time or the opportunity you get for these particular. Let's not forget that these core members that we're talking about are 18, 19, 20. It wasn't the time or the place for them to say, Mr. President, take your rights and go back. Do you understand? If we are going to hold the Nigerians to the same standard as or expect the same thing that Ghanaians have done, it shouldn't be those kids. Do you understand? The people who were reacting the way they reacted in Ghana were mature men. You saw the strength they used to carry one bag of rice. None of those core members, you'll be hard pressed to find one person that can lift a bag of rice above his shoulder and drop inside a Hilux truck. You understand? So I think the group of people, these two groups of people are very, very different, and it wasn't the place and the time for Nigerian youths to react like that.
When do you think would be the place and the time, though? When is it going to be the place and the time? I feel like this was a very important time and place.
No, you would have just, what would have happened?
Opportunities like this would never really come by like that.
What would have happened would be that the NYSC will see to the excessive punishment of any core member that will try to embarrass the president, basically. So there was no way that they would do that. Not those core members.
Okay, hold on.
I told you I wanted to do that there.
They're going to be sitting down like that. Anyway, Mr. Houston, what was your take on this? And I'm going to throw this other question to you because many people were talking about the amount of money. People felt like coming from the president that 1 million naira is too small, you know, that you could have given more. Like, why is he giving? In fact, somebody made a comment on when we did this post on Facebook and said that an Igbo man in the East will easily give more than 1 million for this kind of occasion. So were you disappointed in the amount of money coming from the president, or did you think he did his best?
Well, firstly, I think Nigerians would always ask and contribute their opinion, and people, especially with social media, people always say what they want and what they. I think that should be that aspect of this whole topic should be. I think it's the most what's it called?
Less important or less consequential.
Yeah, most trivial part of the whole thing, the whole action of the president having to give gifts to these people. The other things people should talk about. Firstly, like Henry Oqua said, I can't blame. I'm of the opinion that you can't blame the core members who took this, because now please do not add allegedly to this. In 2011, I mean, from the president's history, from 2011 election, we know he has a very, very negative history with core members, how core members were killed. And please do not add allegedly to that, because this was on TV.
That was a fact. Those are core
members were killed.
In the elections.
When he wasn't president, his proclamation and all that, people were killed. So technically, we understand that core members or National Youth Service Corps is supposed to be an eclectic exercise that takes people from every part of the country. So technically, those core members were not even from Daura. So there could be penalties if they had refused those gifts.
Okay, yeah, they're not from there because they're just serving there.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's if you're not for us, then you're against us. So a lot of them might not really willingly take those things, but due to the fact that they're in national service in a foreign land. Especially when they're amongst people that they don't, exactly. So they might be forced to take those things. So I would not blame the core members for taking that. Secondly, asking the president for the right things like jobs and all that. I mean, the president sees this every day. You don't need core members to ask for jobs before you know that there's unemployment embedded in our whole Nigerian whatever. So the president sees this every time. He understands how unemployed we are in this country. So I don't think it's just for a few core members. Now, thirdly, what I think people should be talking about is if the president is giving gifts, that amount of gift or those kind of gifts to core members specifically in his hometown of Daura, what happens to the other core members in the state?
Yeah, because there was that conversation as well.
Exactly. So I think it was wrong to have given gifts without considering the other core members. Because what are you doing right now? It's like you're favoring those in your town. So it's like an opportunity to serve in the president's hometown, which is wrong. It's supposed to be national service. It's even best you don't give anything. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But kudos and congratulations to those who collected gifts. I mean, that's an opportunity for them to get their own part of the national cake.
Okay.
So
maybe 10,000 or 20,000.
Celebration of the century.
That's the end of it.
Yeah,
That was annoying.
That was really annoying me. The
What the hell?
NYSC, I think we should get to a place here. We can respect our leaders, but this overly praise singing of the whole thing. I mean, come out and say it was a celebration of the century.
I think the word is
or were they
obsequiousness.
in any way trying to compete to the Anambra celebration? Because this
Being
happened just
Oba, yeah.
this happened just after.
You know, it just happened.
No, this one cannot compete now. You're just bringing two cows.
No, because if this is happening right after
Yeah.
Oba celebration,
Yeah.
then some other person is calling it the celebration of the century.
Celebration of the century.
It's not a competition amongst celebrations.
Don't mind
Which
Mr.
one is
Alex.
celebration of
Obey
the
Miata.
celebration of the century?
Rubbish.
Anyway, yeah, I think you guys argue that very rightly. Me, I was first of the opinion that they could have made a statement, but with what Mr. Houston said, because I don't know whether this was even done on live TV as well.
Exactly.
Because if it didn't go right and it was not on live TV, we don't know what could have happened to those comments.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, we should still tread with wisdom, use wisdom in everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. So the leader of the Yoruba Nation Agitation, Sunday Igboho, was arrested on Monday night in Cotonou, Benin Republic, on his way to Germany alongside his German wife. Henry, did you know he had a German wife? Okay, this was news for me. Did you know he had a German wife?
I mean,
When I heard German wife, I'm like, okay, I've not seen any mixed race kid in that house.
But you know that.
I didn't hear any mixed race kid was arrested when they raided
whatever
her.
it is, this increases Igboho's
sometimes.
profile as street
I'm
cred.
like, okay,
as street cred.
German wife suddenly. I'm like, okay, guys.
probably has some exotic taste.
So after being declared wanted by the Department of State Security Services as the DSS, he has been in cell in Benin since then. While a legal battle is ongoing, the legal battle started today on his extradition to Nigeria. Yeah, so the Nigerian government has failed to comment on Igboho's reported arrest up till now. Yeah, the government has not made
By
any
now
statement.
being
Exactly. So, what did you guys think about the arrest in general?
Just like I was saying before we started this show.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, respect to every Nigerian, every
The Yorubas.
yeah, respect to Yoruba people, respect to Nigerians, respect to Igbo people, respect to Hausa people and Fulani people.
why are you sharing respect? You
The
see,
name.
Brother, you need to distribute this respect.
DBU. Come on.
So I found it very laughable that a person of interest would not just run, but run to Cotonou.
Don't make them shut down our YouTube channel.
No,
This is not funny. These
I said
people's movement.
I'm not a person of interest. I wouldn't be. I don't think I would be. But for any reason, I don't think it's intelligent enough for any person of interest to, not to run from the country and just hang in Cotonou. Now, I'll give you my reason why I'm saying this. It's not because Cotonou is the closest country to Nigeria, to the west. That's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because we had our internal problems in Nigeria as at 2020. We had some problems that involved youth protesting. The entire situation. And the chief of army staff, the person who held power in the military, the person who was sent to have given the supreme order to fire at youth in Lagos, allegedly, is the president ambassador
Exactly.
of Nigeria to Benin Republic.
Benin Republic.
And a person of interest is running away from Nigeria to Benin Republic. So sometimes I wonder, I don't know, maybe I don't blame Igboho for this, but I don't know, maybe I blame
that
whoever.
was the easiest place for him to go without a passport.
I mean, you could go to. I'm not trying to help. I'm not trying to help him anyway. But I'm not going to help him. But
You could think of different options.
But why I'm saying this
Without
now?
passport, where do you go? But I get what you said earlier. Before we started recording, you talked about the fact that he could have prepared earlier by getting other passports,
Knowing what he was getting into.
Right now, we're dealing with a situation where he was not prepared. So Cotonou was probably the easiest place for him.
How about Togo? How about
Togo?
How about Ivory Coast? I mean, these are all African
You
nations.
mean like going to the former CEO AS?
Going to a country that has it's not just a safe. That's not just a safe haven for you as a secessionist agitator, but a country that has a safe Nigerian envoy. I don't think Burata is a safe person to be around, and I'm saying this with my whole chest. I can't stay in the same place as Burata. He'll kill me.
Oh.
This is how I see him.
Allegedly.
Well, I'm scared of him. This is a man who plays with Python. I don't know what he's trying to express. Playing with Python, with snakes on TV. As chief of army staff. I mean, we saw the videos. The videos are all over the internet. So
when he was
exactly. Oh, there's videos of him playing with Python. He has pet pythons up and down.
He said he has a snake farm now. That's what he used to buy the buildings he has in Dubai.
Oh, he used the snake farm to buy buildings in Dubai. You see things like that.
You guys,
so
are you okay?
If I'm trying to run,
no, you know there was a time, the whole period with his asset declaration and whatnot.
Yeah, but he said he bought houses in Dubai. Allegedly bought houses in Dubai.
From snake.
The snakes.
It's actually a very lucrative business.
The hybrid one.
Really?
Anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think if I'm running as a concerned Nigerian youth who is being pursued by the government, if I'm running from Nigeria, I don't think I'll run to a country that has somebody who was a part of the government that's trying to pursue me as an envoy. So I don't know, but I think it was very unintelligent of Igboho to have, chosen Benin Republic. I wouldn't choose Benin Republic.
Anyway, how do you think this is going to affect the movement?
Well, Benin Republic, clearly, diplomatically speaking, I think Benin Republic should or would take a cue from what's going on right now. Because, after Nnamdi Kanu was apprehended in Kenya, allegedly kidnapped and brought to Nigeria, there were lots of, there was an international cry out, especially towards the British government. People called out the British government and said, look, this is what you're doing. You can't actually do anything about this. And now the British government, they're speaking up now.
To account.
They're not speaking up. So Benin Republic, it's not about Benin Republic being in the good books of President Buhari. It is about Benin Republic being in the good books of Nigeria.
Of Nigeria as a country.
Yes. Yeah. Now, being in the good books of Nigeria does not mean they will have to hold on to they will have to send back, repatriate somebody who wants to break out of Nigeria, or sending him back to Nigeria to a hostile environment. Because whether you like it or not, it is very hostile in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very hostile environment. People die every day. So
especially for him.
Exactly. And him right now being a person of interest. So I think they will take a cue to handle this. They'll take a cue from what's going on between the British government and Nigeria right now to handle this in a more diplomatic, in a more amicable manner. I don't know what they're going to do at the end of the day. They probably send him to the Hague International Court or something. But clearly,
they have started their own trial.
Oh, they started the trial. Okay.
Trial.
And last I recall, Igboho didn't seem like a violent person. Yes, they allegedly found guns in his house.
Not stockpiles though.
But exactly, and they called it stockpiles.
Any guns in the house, except those of the security men in their house. That's what.
Yeah, and
so we can.
And I recall this. I recall the DSS finding these guns or ammunition in his house right after certain governors asked Nigerians to procure weapons to protect themselves against. Incessant attacks from the headsmen and all that. So Igboho must have gotten those guns to protect himself. Like, honestly speaking, I don't know how to get licensed guns. If not, I probably would have gotten mine, because Nigeria is a very unsafe place. So I think they would, or they should, deal with this very, very amicably.
Yeah, I think they're doing that already, because they didn't just send him back here. We're hearing right now that they've started a court process, and I think they're going to follow the lay down route.
Yeah, as for the charms, the charms they found in his house, I think if you can't have guns in your house and you believe in charms, it's still okay to have charms.
You have to have something.
You didn't hear about the one that they shot 40 or 50 times that they say he didn't die. One of his aides now, they said they had to use something to now piece his body into. You didn't hear that?
Why do this type of horror movie narratives make it into the news?
He refused to die. They had to. I don't know the means, and I said they used to kill him. But what I was saying earlier, so I like the route, that the Benin Republic guys are taking. And one thing as well, I noticed the way the Southwest leaders rose up immediately. They heard that he was arrested in Cotonou.
Yeah.
Like
You see the difference,
yeah, exactly. They were gathering their lawyers. They were communicating with Benin Republic government as well. So at the end of the day, I like that.
This confirms
this will be different from Kanu.
Exactly. So you remember I used to say this. I used to say this that when somebody from a region comes out and says something, watch the body language of the leaders. You understand? Now, before you even went into all of these details, I didn't have any of these details. I just did. My math was Igboho is from the southwest part of Nigeria. The press is the Nigerian press is nicknamed the Lagos Ibadan press. Yeah. Whatever pressure they need to apply with respect to the media, they will apply it to ensure that what has happened, because they will be watching Kanu's situation and learning that, listen, if you give these guys an inch, they will take they'll take a mile. You understand? So I think that right now, while the leaders have activated themselves with their legal counsels and whatnot, the press themselves are also going to mobilize. Just watch the narrative around Igboho's trial, extradition, and whatnot in Nigeria within the next 1 week.
I like about this as well. Like we're not seeing violent occurrences. We're not seeing the agitators or its followers going to burn down public property.
This actually helps his case. It actually helps his case because
things that they are supposed to
in the end, you say he's dangerous.
Yeah.
You've arrested him here. Where is he? Where are the repercussions? Where are the consequences?
People are not even dangerous, so there's nothing to use.
Yeah, let alone his German wife.
Exactly.
Let alone his German wife. I'm sure Buhari doesn't want work out to call him yet.
Picture of that German wife yet, so I'm like, where did German wife Rupo come from?
Please, let's leave Buhari.
Anyway, let's move on to Houston's topic. Yeah, so the Department of State Security Services, that's the DSS, on Monday stopped the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, from signing the Consular Assistance form extended to him by the United Kingdom to assist in relocating him back to London. So one of Kanu's counsels, I think this is lead counsel, disclosed this in a statement on Monday after visiting him at the DSS office in Abuja. So the British government had earlier expressed readiness to provide consular assistance, we talked about this, to Kanu, but needed him to sign the said form assenting to its request. So Ejimako, that's the lawyer's name, Ejimako delivered 2 forms to the IPOB leader last week Wednesday, during a visit to the office of the DSS where he's been kept. And this is what he had to say. This is a statement released, so let me read this long statement. So last Saturday, when I visited Nnamdi Kanu, I expressed strong concerns about the inordinate delay in having Kanu sign the 2 forms I had taken to the DSS for Kanu's signature some days before. Both forms relating to affirming his consent to consular and diplomatic interventions by the UK and her High Commission in Nigeria. Surprisingly, the forms were returned to me unsigned. So he goes on to say, let me make it clear that the day I took the forms to the DSS, the officers on location were amenable to Kanu signing them until somewhere along the line, they tarried and decided to send it to the legal unit for vetting. So my sense is that it is the legal unit of the DSS that disapproved of Kanu signing the forms for reasons that were not given to me. As a lawyer, I do not see any legal advantage the government of Nigeria stands to gain by blocking Kanu from signing those forms. The forms are but a mere routine in matters like this. Instead of any advantage, the refusal will help fuel the notion that the government of Nigeria is deliberately isolating Kanu from having consular and diplomatic access to the United Kingdom. It does not comport with the best traditions of fundamental fairness that a detainee is being denied access to resources that will assist him in his defense. This is one of the things that we count in our reckoning as this matter continues to fold. So this is what the lawyer had to say. Mr. Houston, let me come to you first. What did you think about this? First of all, let me just say, when I heard that he delivered these forms to Kanu the previous Wednesday ahead, in my mind, I'm like, the DSS are not going to allow him to sign these forms. Like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Even under this government that, they have a big comma to their head. So were you surprised that they did not allow him sign these forms, and how do you think this will help Kanu's case?
A country where somebody was kidnapped and brought into, you really think they give a damn about...
You mean flying rat's ass?
Like you really think they give a damn about a form?
Like the lawyer in Nigeria,
like a form? Like you think they care about him signing a form?
Not just the form, though, a form that will help.
A form that will help his case.
The government.
See,
do you understand?
I think Nnamdi Kanu should be worried. Like Nnamdi Kanu and his followers should be worried if Nigerian government ever stands up and says, take him away. I think he should be worried if they don't try doing something foul.
Is it just Nigerian government or the President Muhammadu Buhari government?
Nigerian
it's
government.
one and the same
I'm just
right
saying,
now.
in case the case goes longer and we have a new government, then
The present Nigerian government, this present Nigerian administration, if they allow Nnamdi Kanu to go, I think he himself and his followers should be concerned.
Hey, what were you saying though? What were you trying to say?
I'm trying to say, if they let him go, he himself and his followers should be concerned because, he right there in the DSS detention, he eats, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sleeps, he eats, he
drinks
inhales
water.
things.
We don't know whether he's eating or the last.
If he doesn't, he's in there for how many weeks now?
Him, and they said
They'll feed him.
People who get tortured eat because, if you don't eat biologically, he will die.
No.
So he eats or he drinks water. Somehow he survives.
Yes, he's surviving there.
He survives off of what he's being given, whether the beating or the feeding, however. But he survives off of their treatment.
This thing is not funny.
But he survives off of their treatment.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say now is, if they ever get tired, which I doubt, and say leave, either ways, I think
it does not go well.
It's going to be it's going to be a thing of concern, of utmost concern for himself and the people, because this government, there's something when it's different when you are outside the country and they declare you a person of interest and let it go like that, and they don't catch you until that administration is over. You can possibly get a pardon from the next administration. But when they declare you a person of interest, subgroups put bounties on your head, 100 million naira bounties on your head. People come out and swear that they're going to do this to you when they catch you, and you further fuel their animus towards you by, saying more things. This is a very lucid vendetta that they have between themselves. Both themselves.
And I think this was a very bad news for IPOB, because before now, the lawyer was giving the IPOB members so much hope. He even came out to boast that the trial on the 26th is not going to hold. Neither is any trial going to hold. And he boasted also that the only trial that was going to hold is the trial in the United Kingdom against the Buhari government, and that could have only happened if this form was signed.
Okay.
Exactly. But he was boasting and talking too much.
You mean he was doing his job?
Yeah, no. Okay. Well, maybe though, but you raised the hopes of these guys so much without calculating in your head, because we said rightly, fully so right now, how did you think that the government will allow this for government?
The lawyer is being paid. I think the lawyer was doing his job to calm the situation down amongst these people.
A thorough job though.
Well, he could be doing a terrible job, but let me also tell you. Oh, a thorough job. Okay. Yeah. Because the thing is, to an extent, I have to give the lawyer kudos too, because who knows how much mayhem these people could have unleashed. A lot of Nigerians said it was like a very tense 2 or 3 days after Nnamdi Kanu was apprehended and brought to Nigeria. People were like, what's going to happen next? What are the unknown government going to do next? Do you understand? So for the lawyer to come out and do all of those things and say all of those things, firstly, he must have calculated, like you said, he didn't calculate. He could have actually calculated and saying that if he gives these people the bad news, they could unleash mayhem and a lot of innocent people. Because the innocent people are the ones I care about. A lot of innocent people could die. And if he does this other way by calming these people down, because I saw it from a mile away. The first thing I said was, when Nnamdi Kanu was first arrested in 2017, his case was constantly adjourned. And remember, then the president had a second term. He had something to worry about. So for him to have even let him go on certain signatory and, certain regulations, for him to abide by certain rules and regulations.
Yeah, the bill, yeah.
Exactly. For him to have even done that, it was almost very recalcitrantly, like he didn't really want to do that. And now the president really has nothing to lose. Like he really has nothing to lose. And you are now in his hands again.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So I think what the lawyer is doing is not a bad thing by giving people hope. I will give people hope. But then when they said his trial was slated for 26th of July, it was very funny. That was like the funniest thing that came out of the Nnamdi Kanu's arrest, because I was like, Nigeria, 26th of July, and it's going to hold in this country. It won't be adjourned. I just kept laughing. It wasn't long, about a few days after that, I heard the judges are all going on vacation. I'm like, really? Okay.
But Nnamdi Kanu, that's last time we had holiday judges.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you told me they have holiday judges, but trust me, this is a strategic government. I understand a little bit how they operate.
The different places they could tell you to hide behind.
Exactly. They could simply tell you the lawyers who were supposed to handle Nnamdi Kanu's case were amongst those ones that went on holiday. Would you kill anybody? You won't do anything about it. So that's like adding 3 more months to Nnamdi Kanu's appeal.
They're definitely going to delay it. All criminal cases in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Yes,
So I wasn't, the lawyer sold hopes to people who would buy it. I wasn't buying that because I knew very well. As a matter of fact, the moment I heard Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, the first thing I said was, maybe some parts of the country will experience relative calm. But then it was just arrest. I heard. I didn't know he had been brought to Nigeria. The moment I heard he had been brought to Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, but I knew it was time for whoever was concerned to start looking for his replacement. Because this government is really out for him.
So what do you think is going to happen to him, though? Do you think there's any chance that he's going to flee the country anymore?
There's no
between now and 26 is just for this. That one is not happening though. Yeah, so there's no, because some people were boasting that it's not going. No, that trial is not going to hold or whatever. First of all, let me just put it out there that on the 26th, that's not the day the case is going to start and be concluded. That's just the beginning of the case. Exactly. Doesn't mean anything will even happen that day. Exactly. So let's just put that out there. Anyway, Henry Oqua, what's your reaction to the whole?
I'm sorry, I just can't shake off the tweet that got the president, that Twitter had to delete, that made the president shut down Twitter.
How does that concern this matter?
He said, we will treat them in the language that they understand. This is the language. This is the language. It does not apply to bandits and kidnappers and whatnot.
But when he said that language extends to the bandits and whatever. Therefore, what we're seeing from practice
is actions that we used to judge.
Exactly.
It's actions we used to judge.
Sorry. Henry is actually right, because if you notice, Nnamdi Kanu was apprehended, and in less than an hour, Bashir Ahmed, the presidential spokesman, said they are beginning to understand
the language. Exactly. You understand? Yeah. So I feel like the British government getting involved up to this point where they need access and whatnot. Yeah. Whatever network it is that Kanu had going for him before when IPOB launched and when it had some level of credibility, I feel like all of that goodwill has eroded to the point where it is only his own radical members that want to go out on how do they put it, on a limb to support.
Government is trying to help.
No, basically what I'm saying, what I'm saying now is the British government is only going to get itself in a position where it doesn't want to get to with Nigeria. Buhari is not going to let Kanu out of his sight. It is not going to happen. That mistake that they made the last time they're not going to repeat it again this time. And with that happening, let's use we are agreeing now that to an extent, IPOB is radicalized. If we use the Mohammed Yusuf situation in 2007 with the Yar'Adua government, where Yusuf was the soldiers caught him, handed him over to the police, and he died in police custody. Do you understand? That's what gave birth to Boko Haram today. Do you understand? I'm not saying that this is the extent to which we will see insecurity escalate in the southeast, but we are on that edge. You understand? Where the next move that government makes will determine how peaceful the southeast region will be for a period of time. I believe so, because we don't have, unlike Igboho's case, where leaders have stepped in to understand that, listen, now let me even try and explain what that means. When leaders step in, it means that this guy is not the alpha and omega from this region. That's what it means. Do you understand? The institution of leadership in this region is still intact. You get? So they're standing up behind somebody that is their son. So at any point in time, Igboho himself can be removed from that place, and we are the people that represent the southwest. You understand? In the southeast, that is not the situation that we have. Governors themselves cannot even sit down at the same table, let alone come together and say, listen, enough of what this guy has done. We don't want more mayhem in this place. Do you understand? So at this point, it will be a very delicate dance between the Buhari administration and the young people in the southeast. Whatever Buhari does, there will be an equal and opposite dance on this other side. So that's what I think is going to happen.
I just want to ask you guys though. So these two
warlords.
No. I don't want to use that
they're
word.
not warlords. Yeah.
These
two activists.
Yeah. No, you can call them.
It's kind of an activist.
Yeah, secessionist activist.
Yeah.
Activist.
So these two most wanted men. Yeah, can we call them most wanted?
We can call them freedom fighters.
Freedom.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
call
put
them
it in
Nigerian
such a
freedom
way
fighters.
that these are the two people the government has been clamoring for. They needed the heads of these two people, you know,
Most
and
wanted,
now they have gotten them. What has changed? Have you observed any change? I don't know. Like, have you guys observed any change?
I get where
in
you're...
the southeast, though, I've not really heard that there are bombings of police stations.
For a bit,
burning
that
of
had stopped.
INEC offices. I've not really been hearing as much as those. I don't know whether that has anything to do with the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
You know, for the southwest, though, you know, Igboho's agitation had nothing really to do with anything violent, except the fact that he was trying to chase out those Fulani herdsmen that were like killing people.
Which
you
helped,
know, so
by the way.
Which helped, actually, yeah.
because we hardly still hear about major attacks in the
Okay,
farms.
well, there was one yesterday, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it didn't make mainstream.
I don't know.
media.
Can we really connect these to the arrest of these two guys? I don't know.
So I think
Anyway.
I think what we have to bear in mind is military operations, if that's what we'll call it, are not just surface. There are different things that go into military operations. So removing the heads of certain kinds of groups is part of the military this thing. They understand quite all right that removing these leaders does not mean that the agitations on the streets have stopped. You understand?
Yeah.
So let's not also forget that the military launched a campaign that the former chief of army staff was supposed to launch, and then he wasn't able to see it through. And then this other guy has come in and very quietly, unlike somebody that went around shouting, exactly. This other guy is just away from the media, doing what he's doing, setting people, putting things in place and whatnot. So I think to an extent, the fact that these guys were not with their people, giving their people the morale that they needed. Let's call them their protesters. Let's just call them protesters for the sake of this. So Igboho is not in the trenches with his agitators to give them that push that they need. We've also said that they've not been violent or anything. Kanu himself has not been able to freely get his people up and running. We saw
there's no new leader.
Exactly. So there's no new leader. So I think what is happening now is we've caught these people, we'll put them away. You see, this is also very important.
Wow.
the situation with IMN. The situation with IMN should also tell us that there's the Shiite movement, the Islamic movement of Nigeria. Yeah. Now, whether there are elements in their kind of struggle that will see them persist over time. We've not seen Igboho's people protest in the streets. Or, in fact, they tried to, and then they were suppressed. That was suppressed. Mm-hmm. That is not happening in the southeast. You understand? So, in the absence of that protest, that let's say the Zazaki people have the chance to expend their energy, young people have the chance to expend their energy on the street. I am afraid of what could happen with maybe let's even call them sleeper cells. Mm-hmm. People who have laid low for a period of time and are seeing that we are not seeing justice coming. No, anything could happen from there. Okay. Anything could happen.
Well, I'm trying to react to what Henry said now. I think all three struggles seem pretty different. I would say, for instance, from my opinion, I'll say IMN's struggle was actually birthed by this present administration. So IMN's agitation was never really an agitation until this administration turned it into an administration. Was not really an agitation until this administration turned into an agitation by arresting their leader. I mean, their agitation started
killing and arresting.
Yeah, and killing some people. Now, so their agitation started, the unrest by IMN started from this administration.
Yes.
IPOB started before this administration.
Yoruba Nation. It became louder.
Yes, in this administration. Yeah. Became radical also, militant in this administration. Yoruba Nation.
That one started last
year. Through IPOB's agitations. I think IPOB gave Yoruba Nation a lot of... So Yoruba Nation leveraged on IPOBs.
Yeah, they were inspired by that.
They were inspired.
When they were now being attacked by the Fulani.
Exactly. So
different reasons.
It's been a domino effect, more or less. So all these things happen differently. And the funny thing is...
We don't hear about the Akwa Ibom one, though. They just came out to make announcements.
I don't think that's I think that's very political anyway. I think the government can easily put an end to IMN's agitations by releasing their leader. It will stop today.
But it's not straightforward, Sha, but I get your point.
But I think that would stop IMN's agitations.
Yes.
Even after persecuting their leader for this long, do you think they will easily forgive?
Do you see what when you hear their protest, they don't say they want to leave Nigeria. Their struggle is different. Their struggle is to release their leader. And it will come to an end by their standards. IPOB releasing their leader will further fuel. Do you understand? Because they are not saying release their leader, they're saying they want to leave. Yoruba Nation, I think for me is the least.
I don't think they want to really leave that.
Exactly. I think they want to make a statement more or less. Exactly. So the Yoruba Nation, they're making a statement for inclusiveness, recognition, and all this other stuff. So I think the Yoruba
more like stop the killings, basically.
Exactly. Stop the killing. Thank you. Peace, security. Thank you.
Because they feel included. I don't think those things are their problem.
Yes. So
coming to
of all the struggles, I think the easiest to actually quell is IMN, then Yoruba Nation.
Yeah.
But IPOB is, I think IPOB is, this government will only make IPOB stronger, if you ask me.
But with the Yoruba Nation one, though, I don't just think releasing Igboho is the solution to their problem, because they just arrested him and they have been shouting Yoruba Nation. But what are they really asking for? What do they need from the government?
I think if initially, people, we used to yell this dotted Yoruba this, one Yoruba Nation, one Yoruba that. But after the killings in Ibadan and the rest, people started coming out in mass to really support the movement. And they started getting sponsorship from outside the country. They even went as far as printing their own money, which is actually allegedly printing their own money and bringing out their own flag and their coat of arms, which is actually one of the strongest, languages you could actually you could use to express what you really want. So it became a struggle. With insecurity actually fueled the struggle and made it stronger. So I think Yoruba Nation. clearly, even if you hold on to Igboho, yes, the Yoruba people seem to be united behind Igboho, but I think of all the struggles, the Yoruba Nation are one of the easiest people to instantly replace Igboho whenever the time, like if it comes to that, they will easily replace it now and continue to push out for their own struggle. Why IPOB will not replace, I initially thought they were going to replace Nnamdi Kanu, but why they will not replace Nnamdi Kanu so soon is, first of all, there is not that much trust amongst people who could be his, successor. Anybody who could be his successor. We've had so many people who have come out to say they want to fight for the emancipation of Igbo people and all that in the past, and somehow some people say they collected money, some people say they betrayed, but somehow Nnamdi Kanu has been firm on his own stance or whatever it is since 2000, God knows when.
That's the questionable though, because there have been allegations against him. But go on.
Well, there will be allegations, but then those allegations will either make or mar you. Some people step back a little from those allegations. I mean, Rafa was the leader of Masob. I mean, we had Masob before IPOB. He stepped back. He resigned from his position and said, all right, I'm not handling this anymore. And Masob replaced him immediately. But even now, we had rumors of somebody replacing Nnamdi Kanu in the UK and taking up the radio station and all that.
He just got sacked.
And people he just got sacked. And people came out and said, no, Nnamdi Kanu has no replacement.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So these people are firm and resolute on their stance.
Yeah, but I was trying to say, what do the Yoruba Nation agitators really need? Me, I feel like from wherever they said earlier, before they really started this movement, like we have established as well.
I think we should move quickly away from this topic because this is what they're trying to stop TVs from talking about.
Oh.
They're trying to stop everybody from talking about this. Because like more we talk about them, it's like we're giving them this government.
All right. Anyway, as I was saying, so I feel like they were demanding earlier, they just need the president to condemn the killings by the Fulani headsmen in their region. I don't know. Is that not what they were asking for earlier?
To make them stop, basically, and then giving them the environment to enforce their laws against open grazing. Basically,
so I feel like that's what they need. I don't think they need any Yoruba Nation. But
anyway. the thing with the group that we have leading us now is that even if you greet good morning in the afternoon, it's criticism and you are going to prison for it. So,
anyway, let's move on.
That's where we are at.
So there was a viral video, online on Monday, showing the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila. I struggle with his name every day, man, I swear. Gbajabiamila. Yeah, announcing a compulsory recess and vacation for all federal House members till September. That was one issue, but other reckless statements he made while making this announcement for their recess is what got people talking on social media. So we're just going to play the video for you guys to watch and we'll react.
So I want to once again wish all our colleagues happy recess. Again, let me reiterate the decision of the leadership. It's very important. Let us go for recess, spend time with our families. We're not working. We need that break. For those of you who are workaholics, who still want to continue community work, you are workaholics. You're too passionate about your work. No, you need this break. Go and get yourself checked. Go and get yourself and stay hang out with your wife and family, and for some people with your wives and families and your 27 children. You just hang out with them and enjoy the summer. Sadauna, where is he? He's upstairs.
Before that, Mr. Speaker.
Baba Labe, please spend time with your... Okay, you were given an exception, finance, because of MTEF. But all the same, that shouldn't take you long. Baba Labe. Who else wanted to stay behind to work? Who else somebody wanted to stay behind to work? Honorable Dow, power. It's okay, power will take care of itself. By the time we come back, you'll be sorted. Oh, public accounts. Honorable colleagues, public accounts is actually very important. But I would have said maybe you should stay around and take care of, the Auditor General's report. But you work too hard. You're a bulldog. I don't know if you should stay behind. DS, leadership. You should go and rest. Everybody says you should go and rest. Blessing, no, yours is an ad hoc committee. Yours is an ad hoc committee. Take some rest. Anybody else? Any other important committee? Internal security is, because internal security, by the time we come back in September, certain things have to be put in place. Very, very important. So you and finance have the mandate of the House to continue to work.
So, Oqua, you said you were watching that live.
Yeah, I watched
TV
it. I watched it live before we recorded last week.
Before we recorded on Friday. What did you think of the way? First of all, there are different issues here. They calling themselves hard workers. Yeah, they said they're hard workers. They work too hard. They're workaholics. The speaker even called one of the honorable members a bulldog. He called him a bulldog. This shit is not funny though. Like, yeah, he said they work too much. They're workaholics. Then he said power can take care of itself. Like, that one angered people. Then he was talking about the number of wives that they have. Like, come on. I felt like that was very unprofessional. Then there's something else he talked about as well. First of all, they're going on recess till September. For how many months?
For
in July.
For hard working.
August.
It's summer.
July, August, September.
Summer break.
Summer break. Summer break.
Yeah, in this country.
You have that summer break.
I don't even have leaves, if I don't know what he's talking about.
What did you think about this? Oh, God.
What you need to understand is Gbajabiamila had abstained from leading parliament for the vital voting on electronic transmission of results on the electoral bill. Gbajabiamila had refused to sit in his position.
Oh.
He handed over his position to the, what's it called again? I think majority leader. Majority leader.
On that same Friday.
On that day.
He was around.
He was around. So it was the majority leader who presided over plenary that day, that they debated that thing, and the PDP caucus left and went to issue a statement outside.
So
it was the majority leader.
Did he come out
after the voting? After they closed discussions on the bill, that was when Gbajabiamila came back and started behaving like a fool on TV.
Wow.
Telling people you're a bulldog, you how many wives, calling people by their nicknames.
I see you work too
and
much.
You know the funny thing?
Some actually wanted to work, and it was forcing them to go. Like it was like, you must go, close down, shut down.
So we have not met a group of leaders completely out of touch. Listen, this man, when he came on TV, he said, we need to understand that today we are on live TV. He said it first. He said that first before he went on to say what he was saying. Now, you know that you're on live TV. Are you conscious of the sensibilities of your people? Are you telling me now that the people that are in Lagos that you are representing, that you are in that house because of? Are you trying to tell me now? Now, listen, when normal people who are normal lawmakers who engage with their communities, they get stuff done in their communities. The reason why they take these breaks is so that they can go on leave in their communities. They become embedded with their constituencies. Do you understand? This is the time. This is the time where their constituents visit them. They discuss whatever legislative agenda that they are supposed. This is what you are taking for us.
To America and
to the center. This is what we want you to go and demand for. So you're telling me now that the time that you're supposed to use and go and give stock to your constituents, you are telling your colleagues, go and rest, forget about all this.
Their jobs, though. That's another thing.
So
do they know what they're there for? Do they understand what they're like? This one that you've explained right now. Do they know that that's what that period is made for? They
know. The majority, what do they call it? Majority leader. He has been in the House of Reps for a while. He was there in the 8th Assembly. Do you understand? So it's not as if all of these people are novices. No, they're not new to the job. But Gbajabiamila was there last year under Daura.
I mean, they said it was supposed to even be speaker at that point.
Exactly. Did you see how good Daura led the House of Reps? Did you see how Saraki led the House of the Senate? Do we have any those kind of leaders right now? We don't have them. We don't have them.
Yeah, I was just.
Gbajabiamila was completely distasteful. Completely distasteful.
The people that put him in power are still going to sit down. This time for you to recall your leader, recall who you put in power.
So this is the reason why. This is the reason why they can do that. Yeah, they held Nigerians to a point in the build-up to elections, starting from 2015. Let's say 2015, they came in on the basis of these people are new. We don't know what they are likely to do, but they are better than the guy that is currently there. Let's take them. By the time they were coming back in 2019, whoever stood for them had sold their conscience. Do you understand? Whoever voted these people did not have any conscience to say, oh, listen, I'm holding you. No, you're not holding anybody accountable for shit. You're not. Because you saw the rubbish that they did. You saw the nonsense that had happened. You saw where they put their support and who they were supporting in critical moments. That's what got us to October 10th, October 20th, 2020. That's what got us there. That's what is going to get us into trouble come 2023. It's that same behavior. When you have sold your conscience, you cannot hold your leaders accountable for anything.
Yeah, but at what point though? I want to see a situation where Nigerians really wake up, who we mobilize that movement. Even when I say movement right now, is we watching our leaders, watching them commit some kind of nonsense or watching them underperform and calling them back. We can recall. There's a process in INEC where you can recall.
So there's no recalling. Sorry. Let me just jump in.
There's recall.
No, sir.
I don't like us just giving excuses for us.
No, let's not pick. Let's not take this.
That they did this to us. They didn't do anything to us. We're just sitting down there.
It's not straight cut. Do you understand? Now, for constituents to actively recall a leader, they have to be able to articulate what that leader has done to them that they do not like. Do you understand? Now, for them to be able to articulate that thing and have the platform to say it, put it in it, because INEC will ask you, your petition, what is the basis? Where is the evidence for your petition? What is the basis that you are basing this thing on?
Embarrassing video.
No, it's not enough. Now, for people, sir, political movements are not. If you take it on that,
resign for lesser things in America.
In different in saner climes, Now, in Nigeria, you will need to prove far beyond reasonable doubt. Far beyond reasonable doubt. Look at when what's his name? Gino Melaye was fainting and standing up and jumping out of vehicles and whatnot. They tried to recall him. He failed. But you saw how he failed. You understand? Now, the process of recalling a leader is something that the people are not even aware of. They don't even know how to go about it. Who will lead them to go and sign petition? Now, I feel like this is where the fourth realm of the estate steps in. The media is our only hope. If the media cannot keep telling people, listen, this guy did this thing that time, he has done this one again, do it. And the problem now with our media is many news houses cannot consistently do that because one, they either don't have the money, or two, they've collected too much money to know whose money have we collected and whose story can we report. That's the situation where we find ourselves. So we are going to be sitting ducks. Whatever is going to happen to us in 2023 will happen. Everybody will still go. Everybody will continue dying.
I know.
By 2027,
nothing lasts
more
forever.
people.
Nah.
Oh my God!
Mr. Houston,
this Nigeria's problem lasts forever. Just watch and see. Watch and see.
Well, I once heard somebody say,
if we don't wake up, it lasts forever.
I once heard somebody say, one of the reasons why why they like the civil service, why they prefer the civil service, why they prefer the meagerly paying civil service to the higher paying private jobs.
They have time to do their own business.
It's not just that. It's because job security. When the typical Nigerian says job security is, in private jobs, you could just one mess up like this. You could come there and your computer is you're not able to log in. Your password is now invalid. And they tell you when your password is invalid, bye-bye, you're going. But in the civil service, it's a different thing entirely. They say it's very difficult. In fact, the paperwork it takes
to sack a
civil servant. Wow. When you think about the process you have to go through, all the places you have to send the letters and names to, you'll be like, you know what? I'll let you go with a slap on the wrist. Wow. It's like that. So I think it's now twice as hard to take out a serving lawmaker. Now, secondly, in our Nigeria that you understand, our Nigerian politics, you have to do this. Funny enough, I didn't even know until Henry said, you have to do this through INEC. Now, tell me, INEC in Nigeria was the same INEC last episode. We're talking about how dependent they are on the government instead of being independent. So how do you get somebody who depends on the government to remove somebody in the government to take out the government? It's almost very difficult because the INEC seem loyal to this government now. Just like he said, and I said last week, I remember telling you that the Nigeria is not you and me. It's not those of us who went to school. It is those people at the grassroots that can't even speak English, that have not, that are yet to attain education and all that. Do you expect those people? How do you expect them to articulate their plea?
They probably did not even see the video.
Exactly. Now, by the time those people will come together or get one educated person to represent them on how to articulate their thoughts or their plea on, their whatever their plight at the INEC. It's one of the simplest things. Nigeria has been torn across party lines. It's very simple to say, or very easy for INEC to just say, or some paid INEC commissioner to just say, oh, this guy who is representing these people once carried so PDP, when he shouldn't even have even any role to play. But they say he was once in the opposition party, or he is in the opposition party.
Or it's political.
Because I watched, for the first time, I actually saw them try to recall Dino Milai.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I was scared for Dino Milai.
I really didn't care. I just wanted to see the process happen for once. I like to see where things like that really do happen. So I was like, okay, let me see this really happen. Yeah. And nothing happened. Dino Milai served his whole term. Yeah. Do you understand? So this is that Nigeria. When you think about the processes that take you. So I think it's still, that's why, that still boils down to the constitution. I think whenever all these laws we're making, we should make it flexible enough so these laws could be repealed when they need to be repealed. It's not when you make something so hard, so difficult for you to remove somebody that the person now starts to flex muscles.
Because they're the ones there now, so they will make the laws to suit
exactly.
them. Yeah,
so when you think about how difficult it is to correct any of these mistakes, sometimes you're like, let's just wallow in this mistake. Let's just enjoy our mistakes.
Anyway, since these arguments all favor the lawmakers or those in power, I think the leaders should use their head, just still want to act right, even if these laws benefit you, even if your people cannot do anything to you or against you. At least we should still do, these are mature men now, these are people's fathers. We should still do the right things, speak right, get these offices and represent your constituency in the right manner, even if their programs, their schedule, whatever, gives them till September, why can't we have leaders that will say, no, we cannot go this long, because the country we are running right now is in severe need of certain things. Let's have 2 weeks break, even if we have 3 months.
From which
I'm Mr. just saying, can't we have those kind of leaders?
Mr. Kangi, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say. For me, I like to take things from the root. I don't like to cut things from the top. So I think our National Assembly, and this goes to the entire National Assembly, both the place where they don't have a good roof and the place where they go on holidays. And the place where they go on.
They didn't go viral.
Exactly.
Because nothing happened the first time.
Both the place where they have a bad roof and the place where they go on unnecessary holidays. Yeah. I think the National Assembly should be, or they should understand the National Assembly to be as serious as a surgical room. Yeah. It should look like a theater. They should understand that the National Assembly, to the average Nigerian, is like a theater. First of all, I saw them laughing on that video, talking about your 27 children, your wives. All these things were very unnecessary and very irritating to the ear, because this is a place where it's like, look, our livelihood depends on you guys. You guys are our buffer between the government that is not pleasing us. And, we represent, these people are supposed to be representing us, and they go there and they laugh. I see doctors stand when they're performing surgery. I don't see them talking about their wives. I don't see them talking about, I don't see surgeons talking about their 27 kids. Yeah. This is what our National Assembly is supposed to be like.
Exactly.
I don't even think they deserve chairs. They shouldn't even sit down. That place should be so uncomfortable that when they come in there, they should know that they're coming in for business.
Yeah, some go there and sleep.
Go there and sleep.
Sure. And there was another video I saw. I didn't put this in our note though. There was another video I saw of the Senate president. I don't know what bill they were voting for. Okay, they were voting for an INEC commissioner. And obviously those that said nay were higher than the eyes.
And he gave it to the eyes, yeah.
They do that.
I'm like, what is this word? Like that.
And they have something they're supposed to vote by.
It's like he was not even listening. He was just like a reflex action. The eyes. I'm like, did you listen? Those that were in favor were very low. Those that said nay were so loud, like it was so obvious that the eyes have to move on.
And that's why they clamor around, like they always want to rally around the Senate president, because they understand that he decides at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how high the eyes are.
Exactly. That's another thing that happened. Nobody even contested.
But the way it is after the gavel, there's no. You will be ruled out of order. You can even be. You can even be
all these laws need to be visited.
And you know what it takes takes to impeach, and do you know the process it takes, the paperwork it takes to impeach the Senate president? That's another story entirely. So it's like when somebody is being see, that's why when they fight to become, that's why they can kill themselves to become these things.
Senate president. Anyway, Henry Oqua, over to you.
I want to add that whatever Nigeria we have.
No, I meant the topic you have to talk about.
Yeah. I'll get to that. Whatever Nigeria we have is our making. Whether directly or indirectly.
Keep singing that
it is
one.
our
making. Because
whatever our leaders look like, we made them.
Yeah.
We put them in that place.
We did.
As long as we continue to tolerate that kind of behavior, that's the kind of behavior we'll get. So that's the reality of it.
Simple.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find out from you guys. Do you think we'll have internet connection?
First of all, we're talking about the fact that 2023 election we're going to hold.
Yeah, we're still discussing that.
Yeah, then go on. So you're asking.
A friend of mine, I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday, and then she was explaining to me that there was this time she was in Kano, and I think it was a working day, and she tried to send emails and nothing was going. She could not check social media, nothing. It was as if her internet was down, and then she asked other people, like, oh no, it's not that. Oh, elections are going on in Niger, so it's affecting the whatever.
Was she close to Niger?
Yeah, I think at that part where she was, she's a marketer, so she takes products around.
It's kind of close to Niger.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Niger people come to Kano to vote now, allegedly.
It shares border. So this got me thinking.
Does it?
If
when we're looking at that map,
it does.
Doesn't actually.
It does. Kano.
Doesn't.
Because I hear during
Kano
the
is in the
election,
center.
but here
No,
during
it's
the
not.
elections, though, people
Check your
from
map.
Niger always they alerted they
Kano
come to
Kano has border with Niger now.
You should check the Kano map.
It's not. I don't know how they come, but it's not really at the border of Nigeria.
It's not at the border.
It's at the
Kano is at
middle.
the center.
Except there's one road that links Niger.
You have,
crap, I don't
you
have
have
internet.
Niger to the east, to the west. You have
Anyway,
Niger, Kebbi, Sokoto.
You will do that one
Kano.
later. Go
Okay.
to the matter.
Yeah. So this got me thinking. If so far we've lost Twitter, we have the NBC bill that has not been thrown out. They're just looking at us. When they come back from their recess, they will table it again for
And the way they force the electronic stuff on our head, they can force anything on our head as well.
So basically what my fear was is everything that will be used to test. Some days ago, some episodes ago, we were talking about how it looks as if the government is several steps ahead of us. We only get to wake up when something has happened. Oh, they've taken Twitter away from us. Oh my God, as if we didn't see it coming. You understand? As if we didn't see the different building blocks that got us to that point. My fear now is that in the build-up to the 2023 elections, the internet may be looked at as an unnecessary.
But we want to counter you with that, though.
Yeah.
In the recent electoral amendment act bill that they're passing right now, they approved electronic voting, Abi?
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
No, voting.
No,
not
they didn't.
transmission.
They
No.
didn't.
That was where the northern
They
senator
didn't.
came out and said
Yes.
the southern elites are trying to disenfranchise.
Disenfranchise the North.
Transmission of the
No.
It's for
In fact,
electronic
the
voting.
transmission of results, they said, pending a time in the future that INEC will get.
Because
There
what I read,
isn't.
I feel
Even
like-
Jega came out to actually support transmission of
transmission.
electricity.
Yeah, I felt like they approved. That's what I was asking last time. Like, if they approve electronic
it's a
voting,
conspiracy
why
anyway.
can't you just use? So
At the end
there's
of
no
the day, it's a
electronic
There's
voting.
no electronic
So we're
voting.
still
There's
going to
no electronic
draw paper.
transmission. Yes, we are going to use the ballot paper.
Okay.
Ballot box.
Because I
That is
wanted to
porous
say,
and
okay, if they
whatnot.
have that one, then they will need the internet to do that one. But if they don't
No,
have
even
that
though they don't need the internet.
I've come to
They
realize
don't need the
something.
internet.
For that one,
They don't need the
for
internet.
electronic,
They don't. They don't.
I've also come to realize something. When
It's a
we
local
talk about
network.
these issues, do you know Nigeria is so powerful that other countries within Africa are learning from us?
Yes, now.
they're
Yes.
copying right now.
Sierra Leone,
they're having
Uganda,
to
these
Dubai.
guys are learning from us. If Nigeria does not sign electronic voting into law,
Yeah.
Uganda will never do it.
We are like an influencer for doing
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they will not follow us.
And
Nigeria
for
actually
many
we actually organize elections in Sierra Leone and
Yes,
some other
sir.
countries.
Yeah, because
So-
you see good luck and
so
all that past.
it's quite unfortunate that
president and
our
vice
problem is
president
affecting other people.
going out.
It
So with this one, is me.
So this-
with the
this
ban
is-
of Twitter, because I never in
You never
my, in
thought
my
it would
mind,
stand, yeah?
I never believed.
It would stand.
You know, I was somebody that could argue that they can just make noise with this thing. I didn't believe that they would ever ban Twitter.
So in the latest NBC memo, which that same Friday or the day after, the NBC's chief of this is the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation now, one woman, I can't remember her name, but I think she's the one who sits on whatever board is in charge of their code of conduct and whatnot. Now, the new guidelines that they give. So what has been happening over time, NBC has released about 3 or so guidelines over the last 1 year or less than a year, And what has happened is that basically or gradually the room for maneuver is reducing. Like now NBC actually finds stations without announcements. Wow. There's no announcement. If you watch TV often, you will see AIT run this information blackout information blackout ad. I don't know if you've noticed it. The NBC over a period of less than a year has come down very hard on newspapers. I'm not going to call their names. Online newspapers are getting shut down. Their sites will go offline. They will do everything that they can to bring their sites back online. They will attack the sites again and bring the sites up. Now, this is not just the part of, these are the laws, you've broken this law, come and pay fine. It's not just about that. Gradually, the noose has now been tightened in such a way that the NBC will decide for you whether what you're reporting is credible enough. Like, they are the ones who decide whether what you're saying is credible, whether what you're saying is true. Do you understand? Now, when this happens, it means that the newspapers are not going to be able to publish the truth for us. It means that we'll go into elections with certain places completely blocked out from us. We will not be able to tell. Now, what will happen when elections come without Twitter for most of us is that Instagram will be the one that we want to hold on to. But they've told us already in the law that bans Twitter, they've told us already that Instagram, Facebook, and any other thing that you're using are also part of that restriction. Do you understand? So at that point, they're not doing anything new. They're just saying, off farm. And then we go into elections. Wow. You don't know whether your polling unit that you're going to.
I told you this thing before. I said
Nigeria
is gradually or even speedily turning into Pyongyang.
To what end, though? To what end?
Turning to North Korea.
What do you mean by to what end?
What do they want at
Absolute
the end of the
power.
day?
Absolute power.
To do what?
Absolute, to continue what they're doing.
I beg, Biko, can we end this episode? Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Thank you guys. We had a good straight to the matter one. Yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to Page 36 TV on YouTube. Like, share, comment, and thank you guys for watching. See you next week.
Bye.
I'm just scared that shit is not recording.
It's not recording.